First off, let me thank you all for taking time out. I know it's a lot going on out here. A lot happening. Microphones, people to meet, hands to shake, babies to kiss, so on and so forth. I did a dope ass interview earlier with your sister. Your
My
sister,
Miss Oregon. Yeah.
Y'all ain't brothers. Y'all ain't sisters. Nah,
we get that a lot.
I'm sure you do. Cause you fooled me too.
It's funny. We both on the opposite coast too. That's the
word.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that being said, let's introduce ourselves, starting from this corner, and we'll work our way this way.
Hi, my name is Black, aka Blizzy. I am an artist and songwriter, and I just want to make records that change the world.
There you go. I can dig it.
My name is Jordan. I'm my main job is an audio engineer. I own a recording studio out in Portland, Oregon called Mixed District Recording Studio. I'm also an artist. I make music every once in a while. I'm going to start making more.
Okay.
My artist name is your boy J Dub. It's YABOYJDUB. Some of the music I've been focusing on now is more pop, funk, like Bruno Mars, Dua Lipa, things like that. But that's me.
You said Dua Lipa?
Dua Lipa.
Really?
Yeah.
C'est très intéressant. That's good.
My name is Kid Travis. I make R&B pop music, and I really love producing, writing, and music, man. I really love music.
Huh? Did you ask me a question? All right, let me throw this out here, and this part will get edited out. I'm deaf as shit. Real life. I'm crazy deaf.
You said I gotta speak up.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I'm horribly deaf. I had a lot of weapons go off in my ears when I was younger. Horrible degradation of hearing.
Oh, sure.
I wear hearing aids, but they're in my book bag right now. So, please say that again.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My name is Kid Travis. I make R&B pop music.
Okay.
I love to write and produce and write records for myself, and I enjoy making music with my friends.
All right.
All right. Well, my name is Joshad. I'm a R&B, alternative R&B artist. Make music with my homie since way back. You know what I'm saying? And I love producing. I love writing. I love the art of it all. I love music, and that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So
that's what's up.
I'm grateful.
I dig that. So artist, producer, artist, and producer.
Yeah.
Soon to be artist as well, but mainly producing right now.
Engineering.
Yeah.
Kid Travis here. He's an artist. He's an artist.
Artist also.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Who, with the genres of, I'm not gonna ask you your favorite genre because that's always a weird ass question to ask, and nobody can directly dial in what their favorite genre is, right?
I absolutely can.
His songs.
It's
whatever Future's making.
I'm
behind it.
All right, I'm with it. But what is your favorite style, or who influenced you all the most? Who influenced you the most to do what you're doing and what you want to do? And what's pushing and progressing you to push forward, to move the ball forward, and to want to be successful in what you're doing, to be the master of your craft? What's doing that?
For me right now, Bruno Mars.
Okay.
His catalog is, he doesn't have to show up every year, but when he does, he's going to be on the radio. He's going to be the first pick.
Yeah. All right.
I guess for me right now, will always be Pharrell. Pharrell, Andre 3K, and Kanye.
You say Andre?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm an Outkast head.
You see,
bruh. I've been listening to Outkast since them boys was doing some Southern playalistic Cadillac funky music type shit. Right. I remember when that shit came out. I dated myself. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I remember when it came out. But anyway, go ahead.
It's incredible music. But yeah, things that Pharrell does, things that all that they do, it's so much of them, and they can, like Pharrell says, like music is like my skeleton key to like doing anything that I want to do, and that's how I feel. Like it's my way of doing everything. So, yeah, that's me.
I love it.
For me, I feel blessed. I really feel blessed because I got into music late in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to, like, the making of music. So I got to really choose who were my influences. They weren't like a byproduct of my environment.
That's interesting.
Or like, it's not just like, oh, my parents play this, so I like this.
Yeah.
So like for me, my influences were more so people that I could emulate.
Okay.
So I got into music, and I can't play an instrument, but I produce all my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that with music theory. And then music theory led me to finding one of my biggest influences, whose name is Max Martin. And because there was someone that like kind of uses a little bit of logic to their workflow, I was like, oh, I could copy this. And it's funny because he has like a logical mind. There's certain people that I stay away from studying or being my influences, and it's Kanye West, Pharrell, and Bruce Swedien, Quincy Jones.
Quincy?
And I tell people why.
As a creative,
as a creative, right?
Rest in peace.
My job is to be able to make dope things, and I want to be able to like make dope things like the same way as people that inspire me.
Okay.
And Pharrell, Quincy Jones, and Kanye West are all synesthetic.
Explain
They can
that.
all. So that means synesthesia is when your senses cross. So sometimes you could taste colors, or you could, in their case, you can see sound, right?
Sure.
So Kanye, Pharrell, and Quincy Jones, they can all see sound.
Okay.
So for sure, somehow, some way, that probably has impacted their creative journeys. And for me as a creative, I can't do that.
Gotcha.
So I said, oh, I can't study you because I can never have the same creative process as you guys.
Sure.
So I love them. They're in my GOAT, especially Pharrell. He's like one of my GOAT producers and songwriters, but they weren't like that for me. But then like other people that have influenced me, Drake, my boy Future, Taylor Swift,
Tay.
Post Malone recently.
Okay.
Man, Post Malone has an undeniable catalog. Metro Boomin, 808 Mafia, Southside, Lex Luger. So those are a lot of those people that have impacted me and influenced me to make music the way I make music.
I dig it. So it's not that you dislike Pharrell and Quincy and Kanye.
No.
It's more of a respect.
Yeah,
And
I did the due
understanding.
diligence.
Yeah, understanding that their process, that and the different dimension that they can go to that others can't.
It's funny because I'm synesthetic and we clash a lot just because.
Really?
Yeah.
We clash a lot.
So how do you clash? Is it through lyrics? Is it through
Everything.
You just jumped up.
We clash
All
a lot.
right.
'Cause
Don't
simply
clash.
everything. But it's all
But in a
love.
good way.
Yeah.
It's all love.
Yeah.
Cause like he's so logical and I'm like out of this group I guess I'm like the most kind of like impulsive, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm gonna just do this.
I think there can be logic in impulse.
Yeah.
I'm horribly impulsive, but I'm very much so logical. So I get directly what you're saying. It's interesting. I'm gonna digest that a little bit when I get home.
When I say, but bro, I just don't feel it. They'll be like, explain. I'm just like, no.
And then the class the origins. It's the origins. Who's gonna be the villain?
Yeah.
There you go.
So we didn't leave you out. What about you?
I would say when I very first started producing, I really loved Timbaland's style because I used to also dance a lot.
Yeah.
So he just always had bouncy drums.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of his songs were also used in like dance movies.
Yeah.
You Guys Serve, Stomp the Yard, things like that. I think Step Up even. So, so it was like just the bounciness. I always wanted to make beats
that rock,
that just
make you rock and
that just
get
made
in,
you
lean
wanna
in
move.
on it for sure.
And then I also that's why I also loved Kanye, which is funny that he said that. Because Kanye also early on had a lot of bounce in his beats as well. So a lot of my early production, it didn't necessarily sound like Timbo or Kanye, but it still had some form of like bounce
Mm.
in it that I loved. Even if it was like a slower R&B beat, there was still some form of bounce in it.
Yeah.
And then yep. And then I definitely took a stronger, what is the word I want to use? Well, I then got inspired by Kanye stronger later on when I transitioned from being a producer and also an engineer as a songwriter. Because pretty much when I first started making music, nobody took it serious. Like when I first started making my songs, there was like people around me who weren't taking it serious. And then I looked at Kanye because when he first started making songs, nobody took him serious as well. People were laughing at it.
Get back in the booth.
Yeah, it was like, just make
behind the
beats.
glass. Yeah.
So I had that same thing where people were like, you should make songs, just stick with beats. And that was exactly what Kanye West was being told.
That's
So my whole mindset was like, no, I think I can make some catchy songs. So I made like a few, and some people were like, and then I ended up making comedy. And then that, in turn, people started enjoying that more.
Hmm.
So then I started getting influenced by like Weird Al Yankovic.
Sure.
There was an early YouTuber. He made comedy songs of quality. His name was the Cocker Man. And he literally just I don't think I told y'all about this.
You did.
Oh, the Cocker Man. He literally made like insane like parody songs, literally just about shit. But like his videos for the time, I'm talking about 2008, he was having like green screen production filmed music videos.
Yeah.
He's seen it like early actual music video production style on these dumb songs. Yeah, and I was like, early internet. Still to this day, I don't know how he got like in professional studios and like an actual film team. But awesome. I then took inspiration from like Weird Al Yankovic, him, and like there was another YouTuber at the time who made absolutely wild comedy songs called Rucka Rucka Ali. Ali. He made crazy stuff. So then I took inspiration from that as well. And then later on, I was rapping and whatnot. But I kind of wanted to do pop. Like I could always sing, but my mom had me in choir, but I never did it. So the more and more I listened to even like Drake over the years, early Drake, because he rapped and he sung a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had a voice very similar to that. So like, once again, like he said, took Drake as an inspiration, and then Bruno was always singing his ass off.
Yeah.
So I took that as inspiration, and then a few years ago, probably in 2021, when I switched my sound, Tory Lanez had just released that. Was the Prom project?
Late something at Prom.
Yeah, he released that.
Alone
at Prom.
Alone at Prom, and then that's also when I started getting into Dua Lipa, and Bruno Mars had the Silk Sonic pop sound, so I was just like, let me try pop. And then I did my first song, a pop song was called Fuck It, and people were like, what is this? I want more. And that's when I transitioned. So like new influences, definitely Dua Lipa, heavy on Bruno Mars, even lately Sabrina Carpenter, because she has more pop, and then kind of like she kind of goes all over the place. You never know what you're going to get with that. Mm-hmm. Doja was another influence. Billie Eilish has been going insane. I don't even know what I'm going to get with her. That's interesting because my music's kind of like that. I do pop, but it could be like slow pop or funk.
Right on like the border of like a lo-fi.
Yep, sometimes it can be like lo-fi. It's kind of like I'm just trying things out. But lately influenced definitely Bruno, Dua Lipa, Sabrina, and then more on the indie side like Two Door Cinema Club, John Mayer, heavy on John Mayer,
wow.
heavy, because he has like a vocal rasp,
sure,
that is just like, in his songwriting and his guitar, that man is mythical,
one of the goats.
Right. So those are your influences. Yeah. That's who's influenced. What's your motivation? What's your push to continue pushing? What's that thing that says, nah, I don't want to get this up right now. Yeah. It might not, because artists, engineers, producers, we have the highs and lows, the ups and downs of the industry, because you never know what the fuck is going to happen from one day to the next, right? You don't know. You might walk into the studio one day and just have a brain freeze for the next 10 years and you can't write anything, right?
That's a shame.
Or you might you might just you probably can't just you get on a mic, but you can't get that note just the way you want to hear it, right?
Yeah.
So when you get into those movements, that actual space of like, man, this let me go find a gig. Let me go somewhere else and do this. What's your drive? What's y'all's drive? Your push, your movement to keep going.
Go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. Can I take this?
Go ahead, bro.
I have a personal goal, and it's directly tied into this.
Okay.
I want to make a song that I literally can't put down. Like, I haven't been able to make a song for me personally that's good enough that I can't stop listening to. Because I get tired of songs. I mean, there'd be like maybe Usher would drop a record like 20 years ago, and I'd be like, damn, let it song. And then it would be like, oh, you know what? It's time to put that down. I want to make a record that I literally cannot stop listening. Like it doesn't die.
Yeah.
You know, I want to make a timeless record.
Yeah.
And over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's dope.
Dope.
Floor's open, James.
I love learning. So one of my main things is even when I started off on engineering, it was always interesting to me to just learn, especially about like gear and tutorials and tricks and these techniques. So my whole thing is like he has a thing where he wants a song where he can never put down and get tired listening to.
Yeah.
I want to have a mix that has people like hitting me up and be like, "How the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
How'd you?" I
feel
am chasing like the perfect
Yeah.
mix.
Like
And
Dre's double snare.
Yeah, it's
everybody
like, yo,
hey.
it is somewhere out there. So I'm always learning different techniques. Do another compressor, swap that out. Maybe automate that. Maybe 3 compressors here. Maybe this EQ. Maybe this reverb.
Yeah.
Maybe sidechain this. And I'm always learning. It's gotten to a sickened point where I can just look at a microphone and know what it is because I've studied gear so much. And this man will randomly text me a microphone. What is this? And I'm like, oh, that's an Audio Technica 5040 or some random obscure mic. It's like my obsession with
you see that
with learning.
Before we had this conversation, you should have seen him breaking down this.
Well,
He said, is that a Trident?
Literally, I can. Literally, I walked in. I'm like, oh, that's a Trident. Like I can tell by the color of the knobs because it's different from API or it's different from SSL or it's different from Neve.
I know that's because
so I was like, oh, I know those colors. That's a Trident. That's a Trident. Yeah. So
he's like J-Dub is like my library for real of just like anything anything obscure and anything I might want to know about. I know he knows it. Yeah. Or I know in the next 2 hours or the next 2 hours he's gonna find out what it is.
I will literally stop whatever if there's something that's like I want to do research on this. I will stop at nothing. He's been on Discord with me for like 8 hours and we'll start the conversation about something. I'm like, I want to search this, and 8 hours later it'll be like, I found it, and he'll be like, you're still fucking looking that up. I'll like share my screen and he'll see like 100 Google Chrome tabs and they get on my ass about this all the time. They're like, especially he's like, how do you have so many tabs? Well, because I was looking at that and there was an interview about this and this was obscure, so I started looking at this and this and that and then all that routed to the main thing.
I respect it. I get it. Research. I love research too. They're like, yo, I can't do more than 5 tabs at a time.
Nah.
I group my tabs.
That's awesome.
I never knew.
What's your motivation, Sean?
My motivation is personal, and it's one because I love it like so damn much, and like I have synesthesia too, so I can't escape it. You know what I mean? And it's also it's just something innate in me that knows that what I have, the talent that I have, can change anything for me. You know what I mean? I truly, like I was saying earlier, I truly believe music is my gateway to do anything I want in life.
It's amazing.
So it's like,
I love that.
it's just, I can never put it down because even if I go to a job and I'm good at it, right? It's like, all right, I'm good at it, but it's not. There's no purpose. I'm just good at it. You know what I mean? There's nothing fulfilling me like it does music. There's no purpose. I don't feel God. I don't feel, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, but when I do this, I feel home. So I want to stay, I like being home for as long as possible.
That's good.
Like, that's my center.
For
so
sure.
my motivation is, I feel like I am my truest self when I do music.
That's wonderful.
So I want to be myself at all times, and the only way to do that is to do music.
That's
So,
wonderful. I like the way you said that. Well put. Well stated.
Me?
Yeah, you.
My motivation is to stun on these niggas. I'm not gonna lie.
Get him.
I want a purple Lambo. I want a purple Lambo. Everyone here knows I want a purple Lambo.
Hey.
I love it.
Purple
Do it, bro.
Like people be like, yo, like nigga, it's my heart. I love learning the best. I want a purple Lambo. That's been it. Like as a kid, and I was like, yo, I started music as a joke, and
Yeah.
I was like,
And
yo,
that's
I
how
could probably
he
finish
found
this.
me from one of my comedy songs. That's the
So-
funny part.
That's awesome. I think that's one of the best answers.
Now I take it serious, but you know,
Yeah. But it's still the foundation. Like, I'm gonna stud on these motherfuckers,
Oh,
man.
God. You know, so
What
like-
you doing today? Finna hop in this purple Lambo,
This-
motherfucker. What you doing? What y'all doing? I love that. That's so dope to me, man. All of every answer is absolutely relevant. I love it because they all the answers. This is just how I decipher it. They tiptoe on the very dangerous line of obsession of love and obsession of evils, right? Because we can anything that we do, we come in contact with. It can be used for either wonderfully magnificent, beautiful things, or we can take it to the worst part of the hills that we can offer to other people and have a horrible influence with it and then push that on other folks also. Fortunately, we, again, on that borderline of obsession, because obsession can be good or bad, it sounds like everybody has, regardless of what it is, being stunting on motherfuckers or having that passion of being home and it being you, essentially, you're on that good side of obsession to continue to drive forward. So every answer is acceptable. That's so dope. That's a fucking sound bite. I'll make sure I want to start on it. I love that. So the next question, has anyone been formally trained? So Manny, he went to Full Sail and Zoe went to Full Sail. I'm a PK. I'm a preacher's kid. I just get on mic.
We got YouTube Academy.
That YouTube
YouTube
Academy, I know,
University,
hey,
man.
hey.
Academy in church.
That is it.
Yeah.
Academy in church.
Yeah.
Mixed with the Masters.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mixed with the
I
Masters.
will say my high school had a music studio.
Yeah.
But the first year I went there, they had a music teacher. I won't even call her a music teacher. There was a teacher in there that wouldn't allow us to touch any of the equipment or record. And it wasn't like, oh, you need to learn this first. It was literally like, hey, can we use that mic? I don't want to set it up.
Wow.
Hey, can you teach us this mixer? I don't want to set it up. I don't think I ever told y'all this.
No.
The whole first year, I think her name was Margot or Margaret. The whole first year,
Right.
there wasn't a single song recorded. My
See, that's
freshman
that
year.
obsession that
No,
goes
no
to the bad
seniors,
side.
no seniors, no nothing. No one recorded anything the first year. I
Wow.
went up there. She didn't even want us there because it was like a main control center, and then around it was like 15 different computers with like FL Studio on it. She didn't understand FL Studio. She didn't know how to use it, know how to work it. I don't even think she knew how to use Logic, which was the main DAW. I don't think she knew anything. I don't know why she was hired. The second year, they got rid of her and hired somebody who actually knew music. That was eye-opening, but he wasn't trained. I think he was also just form reading and whatnot. So that was the only thing that was like, oh, there's this. But it was a learning curve for everybody. It was a learning curve for everybody. Even the teacher learning what else. We're in the studio watching YouTube tutorials. Like, it was...
That's what's up.
Hey, studio teacher, can you teach me compression? No. Let's watch this video. So I was like, okay, that's neat. That's neat. So that was like the only training I had. It's like, oh, well, there's a space here that we can use now. But none of the teachers were ever formally trained. But that's the only thing that I got that can be kind of considered training.
And
But
that's
other than that, I don't think any of us went to school. or
YouTube
anything.
University.
Well, I went to college for 4 years. I went to community college for media and production. So, Bucks Community College, media production. Then I went to Temple for media production. Dropped out because it was so mundane. Like, I would literally just like, because from high school, right, on our lunches, me and him, we went to high school together. On our lunches, we would just go to the music room and he would open up his laptop, and we would just be on a DAW, recording something, sampling the piano in the music room, whatever. So I already knew I knew so. I'm not saying I knew everything, but when I got to school, community college, I only did like the credits that I needed to. But when I finally got to Temple, I'm like, all right, bet. I'm in the studio. They got such nice equipment. Blah, 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 blah. They about to teach me everything. Can you learn how to do a fade in and fade out? That's your assignment, bro. I was like, what? Like I'm paying bands for this. So like I would literally like days like that. I would literally like go in the last 30 minutes of the class and be like, yo, what's the assignment? All right, boop boop boop. I'm out, bro. And then I was just like, I'm not paying for this no more.
Wow.
So I was just like, so
that was me with photography class.
So I was just like, I'm out.
Holy cow.
So
I would say for my musical education, it was all really him. He helped me like with the core of it, and even to this day. But a few places I will say that has greatly helped is I always tell people Bobby Owinski has a few books on the mixing engineer's handbook, the mastering engineer handbook, the producer handbook, the recording engineer handbook, all that. And like you may not be able to afford college like me, but like those books give like a great account from multiple famous like Dave Pensado, Jimmy Douglas, Chris Granger, so many legendary mixing mastering engineers. Funny enough, Michael Jackson engineer Bruce Swedien. So many people like how to understand the basics and some advanced stuff too, but like how to really understand and have an appreciation for it from like a textbook's point of view, and it's very consumable. So that has helped me understand a lot. I came into music as like an adult, so like I had to understand music theory. I took a 5-hour and like 30-minute course from Skillshare, which is the best thing I have ever done. And if you don't know anything about music, it's like 5 hours, 20, 15 minutes, or 30 minutes, and I recommend it for everyone. So
thugging it out for 5 hours.
Man, yo, what that taught me though, the importance of it is people just want to be able to hop into a DAW or the studio and just be the man and kill it. But it's like you gotta like prepare. You gotta do your due diligence. Some of that is boring. Somebody has 5 hours worth of just staring at a computer and some monotone guy telling you, "Hi, all right, you're gonna learn what a triad chord is today."
As slow as possible.
Hi.
Like I have no issue with that. Just my issue is just like where I'm at and where my professor was. I was just like, dude.
Yeah, you were ahead of it though.
I was just like, there's no way I can sit here and go through these classes and not like shoot my brains out.
Yeah.
So,
I think
I see what you mean.
That's wonderful. I don't want to forget to say this. Where can people find you? Not like they don't know you, but where can people find you? Like, what's your Insta? If you're on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, blah, 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 blah.
I think I have the shortest answer. At Kid Travis everywhere. That's it.
Say it again?
At Kid Travis everywhere.
Okay. All right.
Same here. Just at Just Shot, you gonna see me. Yeah. At Just Shot everywhere. TikTok, YouTube. I'm there.
All right.
Spotify as well.
Subscribe to me on YouTube at Blizzy ATL, BLIZZY ATL. You can find me on YouTube. All my other platforms are connected to that. Well, subscribe to me on YouTube, Blizzy ATL. You'll see a lot of my songs and some of the other content I do. So, Blizzy ATL, YouTube.
Yeah. My Instagram's a little different, but if you did want any engineering or anything like that, point it to the camera. If you didn't want to hear some of my mixing and engineering, you can go to my website called mixdistrict.com, MIXDISTRICT.com. You can also find my Instagram for my studio. It's called MXDIST. But for my personal and like my music, my artist name is your boy J-Dub. It's YABOYJDUB. So you can find that on YouTube. On Instagram, it's your boy J-Dub with a number 1 at the end. And pretty much on Twitter and everywhere else, it's just your boy J-Dub, YABOYJDUB. Fun fact, I couldn't get Instagram because somebody was named some guy that works like construction. And I asked him many years ago, I'm like, hey man, can we like swap usernames? He was like $5,000.
What?
I'm like, nah. I think I told you about that a long time, or it
That's
was
crazy.
you. I told somebody. I told. I was like, yo, this was years ago, and I'm like, no. He only had like 400 followers on his Instagram. I'm like, are you joking? I'm like, can we see like $50? He was like, no, $5,000.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh nah, you wildin'. So that's the one platform I couldn't have just your boy J Double on.
All right. Well, two things. The first thing is, I would directly, and I'm saying this because we there's always room for us to push forward, grow, and drill down on. Challenge yourselves to go further. Find something, one thing that you don't like about what you're doing with your music, and perfect it. Perfect it. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
Take that.
Whether or not you want to accept it is up to you, but that's a challenge. And the second thing is, the hope and the ask and the request is that y'all come back on to the Family Bloodline podcast in a different fashion, right? Because I usually send a link out and we do virtual spaces. We do virtual spaces, but I want to be able to speak further at length about what you're doing, what you're producing, what you're working on, what your next projects look like, when they might be coming out, what to look forward to. If you're going back and remastering some of your older music, what you want to transition to, if you want to look at a different genre and doing that, right? So hop back on the podcast, Family Bloodline podcast with me, and rock with your boy for a little bit.
You know, first time on the West Coast, we family.
It's the Family Bloodline podcast, right? Once you're here, you're family at this point.
Yeah.
So that's real shit. That's what I tell people, and it's the honest God truth. If you ever need anything, and if I'm able to assist or aid any way, shape, form, or fashion, let me know, and you got it.
Yeah.
Just too easy. That's too easy.
I know you interviewing us, but I just want to say, I don't know what made you want to interview us, but I appreciate you for seeing something.
You don't know what made me want to.
I don't know what made you want to interview, but I'm just saying I'm grateful, bro.
Oh, all right. For
I'm just
sure.
saying I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, man.
Absolutely. It's absolutely my pleasure, man. I learn from listening and asking questions from people who've been doing things better than what I have and longer than what I have. Or even if you haven't done it longer or better than what I have, I still learn from what you're doing at that point, because I don't know. I know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the saying that I was taught when I was a kid is, the man that knows anything knows that he knows nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely believe that. And so I pose questions, I ask, and sometimes I can get a little personal, depending on how much time we got. But I truly want to know. I'm truly wanting to understand your form of music, how you look at it, how you deal with it, yours, and yours, because it's all relevant to me. It's all relevant to me, because I adore music. Absolutely adore music. And one day I might get into the story about why. But I know we gotta go. Food should be here right now, but I absolutely appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you.
Absolutely appreciate y'all's time. You're welcome.